Bridging into the void. We've all felt that unique brand of terror teetering over the edge of the endless abyss, where one slip-up erases everything. It's a nightmare, and today we're building the cure. I'm going to show you how to solve this problem for good, starting with a simple automated bridge crawler, but then we embrace the gremlin way. We're going to over-engineer this problem into oblivion with a machine that can build a bridge to the end of the world, if the end of the world is 2048 blocks away. Welcome back to Skyblock Infinite Create. So let's start by building the first of our two bridge building contraptions. Our 7-wide bridge, and I used a simple deployer bridge on this. I've since destroyed it because it was ugly and it wasn't very effective. So if we've got this as the place where we're going to put our deployers, let's go ahead and place them in. Make sure we can get to all of the filters because we're going to have to replace all of those. And then we're going to build this in a very similar way to a drill that you would make for digging. Except there's not much to dig in this world, so instead of putting drills on this, we're going to put deployers. And actually, I've completely done this wrong. These are going to be placing here. So that means all of this is going to be bridge, which means this needs to move up one, like so. And both of these need to move up, like so. And there. And replace the filter so that is only placing rails. Now this will place 1, 2 blocks, which will be on top of this, which will be what this is placing. And let's glue that together just to make sure that that all connects up. The same with this. I know there's a way I could turn that to sticky. I don't use chassis that often. Alright, let's change this up and make it look nice, shall we? Important thing to remember is I need to be able to place down a torch or something because these are all going to be full slabs, or these are all going to be top blocks, so they will need to be spawn proofed. So we've come up with something like this. What I'm looking at here is we've got a portable storage interface on the back. We have storage for all of our bridge building designs or all of our bridge building materials. We have a way to get into the cart. Let's lock rotation on that as always to make sure that it doesn't go flying off in a weird direction. Then all we need to do is fill up these chests. We have a way here. If I sit here, I can place torches down there. And we've set this up so that it will be a wall on these ones. And it'll be bricks on the bottom. Let's test this somewhere else. So we're gonna pick it up, again, lock rotation, and pick it up. That should pick up everything. Yep, get rid of this. Need that. Let's go back here and just give this a little test somewhere else. So if we were to place down our rails, and let's give it a few to go on, place that down. That is in the wrong direction. That's in the right direction. Okay, so we've somehow made this backwards. Let me fix that real quick. To fix that, I'm actually going to have to put down the cart assembler again. And it's really all about the direction that that cart assembler is facing. So we want that thing to be facing that way. We want to set lock rotation, give it some power, and pick that up. Close all that down. Get rid of all of this. We don't need this. Let's try again. We put down some rails. We put down the contraption. And that should begin to place. Let's see how it works. We're going to actually need some coal for this. Let me go get some of that from my main storage. And this guy should give us coal. There we go. And let's do this during the day, because I don't need a mistake to spawn mobs. Look at that rainbow. That's so nice. That away. Go ahead and put this coal in here. And see how that works. To be 1 rail short. interestingly enough, it's decided just on that spot. So there, bridge building done, right? That's all we need. Pop that down, tell it to go. We can sit and we can place down our light. And while this may look good in theory, we stop it before we get too far. It's actually kind of bland. Like, yes, this works. It is a bridge. It's wide. You can run along it. I think we can do better. So much, in fact, that I am going to completely get rid of it. Something like that. Glue the whole thing up. Let's go get a piston. I'm actually talking about a mechanical piston. Grab some casing. And do we have a slime ball in here? We do. Make that a sticky mechanical piston, and let's grab a hand crank just for this. So what we can do with this, we can set up something back here. I think I want it right about here. Then we put a sticky piston here, mechanical piston, extend that pole length. Then we hand crank that out. Some more. Keep hand cranking that out. And one more time, add some more poles. Another eternity later. So now that pole should be connected up to... we want one more. Now that should be connected. Then if we take a quick rest, let's enjoy the sunset. Why won't you let me sleep? There we go. That away. Now if we were to pull this back, it will just break that entire bridge. I know, I am wasting a bunch of materials, but they're easy enough to get. Another eternity later. I should probably not starve to death. That's important. More food. And let's just clean up the rest of this by hand and eat. So that's one way to make a bridge. But we can do better. That didn't look good. There was no texture. There was no... I don't want those spread across my world. So let's try something else. And for this, we're going to hop into a creative flat world to do some tests, because setting this up in survival is going to be tricky. So let's make sure it works before we put it into our world. So let's start with a platform, and let's put it just a little above ground so that we've got some room to work underneath. Grab a wand of symmetry and just give ourselves a little place to work. I've gone ahead and made a contraption that is going to be part of the process. This is our bridge printer. This is going to basically come in two parts. We are going to have a printer and we're going to have a pusher. The whole concept that I'm going for here is you generate the bridge with this guy, and then this pushes it into place. So let's get that to work, shall we? The first thing we're going to want to do is build a bridge section that is going to be like this, and I've just used dirt to kind of mark it out, but let's go 7 long. So we're going to want sections in this length here, and let's make that look nice. I'm going to have to change the outline here of the pusher and of the printer, but I'm liking something like this maybe. Let me keep messing around with it. Maybe something like this where these are all slabs, so we don't have to worry about lighting as much, although we will build some lighting into each of these. I think we will do that here. And for the lighting, we will use shroom lights because they can be pushed, unlike lanterns. We could also do glowstone as well, but I think the shroom lights are going to look better. And do we want them there, or do we want them in the floor? Or here? Because that will still light up. The thing is, anything we place has to have a block in every space. There can be no openings, so these chains are a way to get around that. Something like this. I've actually expanded it so it is now 9 blocks long. It will be a repeating pattern, so it'll go 2 here, 1 of these, 3, 1 of these, and then 2 here, and these 2 will connect up at the front and back. So this will be group of 3, group of 4, group of 3, group of 4. So then we've got a roof here. We have a light source, and we've added in a chain conveyor so we can run power along this bridge. Now let's throw a few leaves in here, but I don't want it to be obvious. So what I might do is take this as a base and then create a couple copies and put leaves in different places. So let's do that. So let's take a schematic of this, like that. No leaves. And we've got that. Make a copy of that. And let's just step off to the side here. Move that. Scale it up a bit. Place. And let's make a couple of these. Alright, so we got a couple of these. They're not all lined up. I'm not bothering with that right now. And we can just go through and do a little bit of variation on each of these. And let's go with our azalea, our oak, and our flowering azalea. And now with these, I'm just gonna do simple things. Don't know how I feel about it being where the chains are. Something there, maybe there. And then on the underside, we can do maybe one of these. And that actually makes it part of the path here. I don't know how I feel about that. So do we put in a layer here that we can use some trap doors here? Now, we are going to have to put those on all of these, and we're going to have to change the outline. That just gives us an opportunity to add more of these leaves and continue to push them along. Because I can't go down unless I wanted to add yet another here. But I think they're already going to be very expensive to mass produce. We're talking about making hundreds of these. So just a bit of greenery down here. On this one, this is a really overgrown one on the bottom, like that. I think that works nicely. And then if we come over here and put something like that. And I heard a great piece of advice that is, when you're texturing things, when you're trying to add in little bits, it's really nice to think of Tetris. So that's a Tetris piece, right? You could also think of it like chess movements. That's the shape a horse can go, or a knight. I swear I'm cultured. Maybe we do replace one of these here and there. Bring some of that greenery up. And then we might actually have to build a light into each of these as well. Down here. And I do have the ability to make glowstone. Because you can get glowstone dust from crushing soul sand in this mod, which is interesting. That's a recipe that isn't in vanilla create, but that is in this. And then this is the vanilla way to get glowstone, which honestly, kind of like having to struggle for the potions. So I might just do that because I've tested this and it works. I'm having the same problem with figuring out how I'm going to deal with redstone, because I could make it with a added recipe for this, or I could go with the vanilla create recipe. Alright, so that'll add a bit of light to the bottoms of these. And I think switching it up to some oak here and there is good. And this is nice, just a little bit under here, so that this will wrap around the light. We have to replace those with something, so we do slabs. We make these face in like that. It's not much, but it adds a bit of intrigue if you're looking at it from below, because you got to think we will be looking at these from all angles, hanging out in the sky in the distance. You can see some of my practice over there. I've got ideas, but I don't want to schematic everything in. So now that we've got 3 copies of this, each have been textured in a different way. They're 9 blocks long. And then let's take an outline here. 7 that way. We're gonna have to do... I should do something other than leaves for this. Hold up. Let's just make it obvious pistons. And that will capture the path. So that is our final outline. That's going to be about 30 pistons. And it is 7 across. I think we can work with that. That gives us a range of versatility. And maybe we do some without the chain conveyor, because these can hook up long distances. And I can always add one in a spot if it's... Let's just remove that in this one and in that one. And that will save on resources. Maybe we add in one of those there and there. Now let's look at actually putting down a pattern on this. That's 9 blocks. So if we did it like this, these would connect up. We can't do something like that because then we'll have... This is the next setup there. Or if this goes twice. We could do it so there's a double here. So the finished pattern on this side, that I prefer the cut tough stairs in the walkway here. I think I prefer that. So I gotta swap out all 3 of these again. Maybe I do just this. Something like that to break it up. No, I think like that. I like that. And we can break up the expense of these girders with some extra leaves so we don't have to spend as much on them. We'll leave this one alone because I want it to look taken care of. And if I wanted to spend more, I could add a layer in here that would do something like this. Might have to do that, even though it's going to be even more expensive. Which means now I need to grab a piston and put another one there and there. Let's just fix all these so they're going the right direction. Alright, so that's all facing the right direction. And we're actually going to change out all of these. I think I have made these expensive enough. Let's go ahead and see if we can't set up a system to push these. I will work on that and get back to you. So we're going to have to change out this for this design. That's as easy as gluing this whole thing and moving it over there. Alright, so we can get rid of this. Yeah, it's going to break all of those, isn't it? What if I just put you down here like that? I got some of them. So there, I've changed that out to fit. Alright, so I have updated our pusher outline, and I'm now going to have to update the deployer. Oops, I left some bits behind. Let's just fix that. This should do it. Yep. And we will go over here and save that. Alright, so now that we have the printer and the pusher, what we're going to need to do is, one, get a storage onto this guy, and for that I am going to use a creative crate. That's what it's called. Couldn't remember if it was a barrel or a crate, but I'm going to just turn that off. I'm just going to add that here, but in the actual world, we're probably going to have to set up some sort of a portable storage interface to load this thing. It'll be a bit different, but for testing purposes. Alright, now we've got 3 of these so that we can set each of them to a different one. So let's go ahead and do that. 9 by 8 by 7. And this is going to be chain bridge 1, chain bridge conveyor 2. We want to make sure we know this one is the one with the conveyor. Alright, so those are the 3 variants all made. So then we're going to need chain bridge 1. chain bridge conveyor 2, chain bridge 3. Alright, so we have each of these, and these are each gonna go... Actually, I wonder if let me do a test real quick. Fill in all of these with the schematic, and yes, you can put schematics in a deployer, and this is why I've staggered it the way that I have, so I can reach all of these. So for instance, let's say we put this here, push that back that way, and that should build the entire thing. Now here's my question. Can I now move where this schematic is while it's still in there? Let's mark. That's the last block, if that's where it was. Now that it's been moved, is it gonna update? No, it is still set to where it was when I put this down. So that's good to know. I will have to change the filters on these anytime I want to move this printing setup. So let's go ahead and load up the other two. Now this is going to be conveyor bridge, so we want to remember that. And that one is correct. So this is going to be printer 2. Place that one down in the same spot. And load up this one. And that will be the next one. And this will be printer 3. Something like that for now. And actually, we may need to edit these so that they're all one offset. So like that works. So now each one of them's offset, and then we're going to put the piston on the left. We're going to need power to get to each of these, and because I don't want it to go all at once, because that could be very laggy once this gets long, I'm going to put in some sequence gear shifts so they'll go one right after another. And I've grouped it into 5 groups that'll go at one time. And then we've connected all that up together, and we're going to need to actually, probably right here, find out how we're going to power that. In survival, in this, I'm just going to give it a motor, because we don't need to worry about that. Let's give each of these time delay, move back. Alright, so those are all set. I should be able to, with a button, trigger each of those. It should line up perfectly. For now, we'll give each of these So that was a conveyor one. Let's send option 3. Let's send option 1. And let's go ahead and give each of these a time delay. Copy that and paste it all the way down. Set them all to receive. Grab ourselves a linked controller and set that. I think we can give these shorter delays. And then what we do is we hook each of these up to their own links. Set them all to receive. Keybind all of them, and then let's see how this works. If I Let's say I want to put another chain in there. That's the middle one. So let's build that. Push it. Then I want to build the version 3 and push it. And then I want 1. Then I want the middle one again. Now, I actually pressed that a little early. It broke a few things. Did it mess up? Okay. I like that, and let me just connect one more chain here. That looks so good, and if we pretend like this has power, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect if I need to go. But I want to go the other way. Hold up. I want to go the other way. So that works just too well. Let's go get this in our world because I just love it. I love it so much. Whew. Hold up. Oh, I need to stop that. I'm getting dizzy. Alright, let's hop into our world and see if we can't recreate this there. So I'm back here, and I've just set up a schematic of the deployer setup that we had. It'll just be 32 deployers, spruce stairs, spruce trapdoor, glue, nothing much. Got that all in there. Ooh, I might need some gunpowder. Perfect. That's all done and all glued up. Very nice. So now we can just turn that back into a contraption once we get rid of all of these. That's good. And then on this side here, we've placed down pistons in line with this. I believe we're going to go north first, yes. So we're going to have to clear out anything in between this and the outside world. And then we'll plop this down and get to it. That. So we can just place this into here. These chain drives, 19 of those. Redstone links. Sequenced gear shift. Well, I have one, and that should be it. Yup, in case chain drive, piston, extensions, redstone links, and glue. Let's build that one. Well, that was a long time. That took longer than I thought it would. I forget how slow schematic cannons are. Alright, so we have our pusher, and we have our printer. Let's see if we can't get them set up right. I realized I didn't have enough gunpowder in there, and so it stopped just at the end. There were just a few left, so my pole length was a little short. And again, get your mind out of the gutter. I'm just saying, my pole length was a bit short, but we fixed it now. Pole length all better. Now I just gotta glue my pole, but I keep falling down. Wonderful. Take 2 pole glue. Awesome. So let's get that out of our way for now. And let's go ahead and make 2 more of the printers. Printer. There we go. 2 printers. Down the schematic cannon. We're going to do it up here just so it's easier. Let's just make a stack of these brass hands. That is all good. So let's just... Alright. And then we do it again. And once more for the encore. Perfect. Alright. So let's get this set up. Go ahead and pick this one up as well. Printer 3. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. And we have our piston. We have our bridges. So now we're going to need to lay out the spot. This is bridge 1. Right. When working with pistons, you have to have your toolboxes turned off. Yep, and that's going to go right there, I believe. This should line up center. Yup. Actually, I think that is correct because we put the piston here. Yep, so this whole thing's going to need to get cleared out. Yeah, to about there. That's what I was thinking. So let's go ahead and do that and place down the other two schematics. Alright, so put that there. These should all be in the same spot. Perfect. Alright, so I've set this up. These are our 3 tracks. Track 1, 2, and 3 up there. I've also added a bit of storage to each of our printers. So let's go ahead and put them now. I can't put them here because they will then face that direction and they won't turn. So what we need to do is place them here facing this way, push them, and let them come back into place. Like that. We're going to drop down that one and that one. Alright, and they're all stacked. And they should all connect up with their interfaces. They do. Perfect. Now we need to think about getting the resources in each of these and keeping them in each of them. And then all we have to do is put the printer down, or the piston down here, and we'll be ready to go. Let me go figure out the logistics of that. So if I were to put the cannon in here for 1, take a clipboard, and that is 3. Alright, so now that we've got this checklist for 1, 2, and 3, let's lay out what we need. So I've taken every one of the blocks we need. We need cut tough slab, cut tough stair, polish tough slab, stone brick slab, stone brick stair, spruce stair, trapdoor, and slab, azalea leaves, oak leaves, and flowering azalea, polished cut granite, slab, and glowstone and shroomlight. Can't forget chains and metal girders. So that's 16 different items. Let's start with making the stone brick variants and the tough variants and the granite slab. We can also set up the saws. So this whole area and that should just be saws. These are growing, so we've got that done. We just need to set up a crafting for metal girders and chains and reset up a shroomlight farm and a glowstone farm. Well, the glowstone's already good because we've got soul sand, so that should be good. Just need to tell it to keep a certain amount on stock. Alright, I think we can do that. Let's go ahead and set up farms for that upstairs, and then we will set up a way to feed it into these, and then I think we can turn it on. Let's give it a try. Gone ahead and set up a spruce into strip spruce into spruce planks. I've also just set up, this is all our tough. This is going to be all of our spruce variants, and this is going to be our 2 stone brick variants and our granite variant. The only problem is I don't have spruce automated. I've got oak automated, I've got the leaves up there automated, but I don't have spruce. So we are going to throw together a spruce farm. Let me go get that set up. So I have decided that because I need a spruce farm, we are going to stick a new island over there with the schematic cannon. Something I've just cooked up that'll be a platform, and then we'll throw a spruce farm on top of it. That means you get a quick little time lapse of the schematic cannon at work. Enjoy! Well, that didn't go as planned. the replay didn't work, and apparently there's a slime chunk down there. I've just made a mess of this. Let's sleep it off, and I'm going to go in the opposite direction over that way, get on the ghast, and fly over there. We're going to hook up a chain conveyor system so that I can just cross real easily. I wanted to put it a distance away that when this bridge is formed, you'll be able to kind of make a side shoot off of it. But for now, that's gonna be the island. Just something simple hanging to add. So let me go get over there and bring you back in. We're just gonna do something very temporary here. This should be able to take us close. Let me go get the ghast and I'll fly over there and set up a connection. Just gotta navigate our way out and up we go. Almost out. Any day now. And let's just back out here because we are going that way. But let's hop down here. We're gonna get slimes, unfortunately. Because see, if I leave this guy alone, he's gonna fly back, and I did not. Well, I did bring everything, but I didn't bring snowballs. This guy just really wants to put that there. We go to this side and plop this down and that down. Perfect. Now, do I have snowballs? I do. Alright, I've got him right where I want him. I do not have a lead, so we're working with snowballs in our offhand. What we need now, and first things first, we should sleep. He didn't run away? Good. Alright, we should bring out, we'll do one of these so that we're also transferring power. And put this here, that feels like it would fit. Something here. Grab our chain conveyors. So, grab some chain. Connect this. That's gonna be way too far. Even to something like here. Oh, there goes my snowball. Maybe here? Too far. Alright, let's go ahead and build something out from here. Will you connect? Yes. Clean up a few of these. Now, will this connect up to this, or is it going to be too steep? Too far apart. So let's take some casing and that will connect. Get rid of that. And this is, I want this to be temporary. I do not want this to be the bridge that I use. We're gonna have to connect these up later. Very temporary. But let me go get my ghast parked, and then I am going to try it. This could go very badly. Maybe I should turn down the RPMs before I try it. Maybe? Oh, that would be smart. I don't do smart things here. A million years later. Any day. You just gotta get to the front. See if I can get in here. Ooh, first try. And then little spinny thing. And you're free. It's called the free range ghast, you know. Alright. Now it's time to see if I'm crazy. Yeah, that actually worked. That was not bad. I was getting back. Ooh, ooh. That's not bad at all. This is terrifying. Oh, I'm gonna get dizzy. Hold up. I'm good. Alright, so that works. We have space over here. How bad are the mobs down here? Oh, nope, it's all lit up. Nothing should spawn. We're all good. Perfect. Alright. This is going to be our tree farm platform for now. And again, that is totally temporary. It's, oh, so ugly. We will send things via the bridge, I think. So I've set up a basic tree farm. The contraption moves 3 blocks forward, 3 blocks back, well, 4, with a pulse extender set to 2 seconds. Basically, anytime a tree grows, we have an observer here, which feeds into a redstone signal. These aren't actually trapdoors, so that they won't click on and off. So they all have the same signal. They feed in, so when any of these grows, that one's not going to work because they don't like things being, near them within any corners. So that one's got to go and that one's got to go. And there you go. It just works. It just, mind the pole. Pretty simple. I think, let me see, light levels. We can probably go ahead and add some light. Oh, that is just satisfying. It just sees it and it does it. So now we have wood. Super simple, all connected up. Deployers underneath, set to spruce. These are set to output in stacks of 64, so it won't take all of the spruce saplings from it, and it'll have some inside. Then all of the wood comes into here. Now we could expand this more and make this just a max of all. Let me just... And then all we need to do now is throw a couple stored threshold switches on these to make sure they don't overflow. A packager that'll send up to that network in there, which we can just, for now, temporarily send with the chains there. For now. Ooh, that was dangerous of me. I'm going that way. So we put you here. Only send. Can I import in that we can take, where is that, the power that is coming in right here. We want to reverse that, I think, with a gearbox there. Yup, I should have just enough belt to pull this off. There we go. These need to be going in the same direction. Double gearbox that. And I don't have any andesite casing on me, so instead, because I'm bougie, I'm going to use a chain drive. So that is our packages getting delivered up. All we need is exports on those. And then I guess we make a new network over here. Okay, so I've got this. It's basically, we've got our belts feeding out of here. This is a new network. We set this frog to only send. I just love it. One pops up, it goes. And it's reading the dirt, which I wasn't sure it would do it, but it does it, which is nice. So if we send a package into this, I want these to go up here, and this is gonna connect right here. And this is the top of my cobblestone generator. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do with that, so please ignore. We're going to have to pretty that up. If we just move that, throw something like that. We want this to just grab anything that comes up that chain right now, so we'll set that. And then if I get some redstone requesters, I could just set up a quick system to bring it over. I got plenty. First, we want to make sure these guys have a place to go. And I am currently thinking they're going to get stored here. So, need to put a packager on that, which I don't have on me, but I do have a frog. This is going to be spruce log storage. Let's make sure we copy that, because this is the end address. And wow, we've got plenty of spruce logs over here. So now that we've got these redstone requesters, we can just set up a basic system here. And I'm just curious whether it'd be better for these to be near where I want them over there. I think it would be better to keep them close. So now that I've got these linked up, that's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to play with those, because that's cool. Let's plop down my truck somewhere, and let's grab my tools. Go ahead and drop a couple more chutes so we can see that. Where is that coming out at? It's right there. Maybe I make this like a tree, like the shoot will be part of this tree here. Ooh, I like that. So if we make that item drain, will this work is my question. If something comes down here, we put a temporary block there, can't get through. Let's grab a test package. If we set that down, we ask for spruce. We want that to go to spruce log storage. It should, in theory, make its way all the way here. Ooh, I should put a... Yup. Wait, hold up. So that means it's already right here, waiting to be input. Waiting. Oh, perfect. Look at me. I know what I'm doing. I want a threshold switch, requesting it in groups of 9. This is going to be inverted. Yep, this is going to be regular, not inverted. Timer into a requester. And for now, let's actually just opt that out because I don't need it sending this halfway through. We're going to do that, and we're going to do this in packages of 9 stacks. So to test it, and here it comes, there it is, and we're good to go. Perfect. We should start seeing them come through. Yep. We can replace some of this and make it look nice with spruce. That should work. And it's dinging me because we don't have any more over there. Good. So it won't even send if it doesn't have it. But there we go. All of our spruce log right here. Now we need to turn it into planks. I think what I'm actually gonna do is have one of these just be spruce, strip spruce. And I have one packager left, so if I want access to the main network for this, I would have to make more. I'm gonna have to make more anyway, aren't I? Hold up. Put the blocks of cardboard back in. Give me packagers. I can make 3. It's the redstone, isn't it? Yeah, it's the redstone. That's all the redstone I got. 18 will have to do. So let's go ahead and give ourselves access to this. So that's linked up. Do threshold switch that to receive. Copy and paste. Alright. While that slowly loads up, we can go ahead and have this set, turn that off, so we're getting spruce stripped on this one, which will give us access to it with that. We'll want access on this as well. Only send and only send. And we need to give these power. Oh, and that worked perfectly. Perfect. We now have wood, which wasn't even our primary focus to begin with. Now we can turn on this section here, which is going to make all of our spruce components. That's trapdoors, that's slabs, and stairs. Well, I've given this tough, and I've given this spruce planks, and as you can tell by the noise, we have spruce stairs, we have the polished stuff going, we have all the tough going, all the spruce. We just need to get stone brick and that one granite up there, which shouldn't be difficult. So, and we've basically got this set up with the same old requester system. So let's get the granite in there. That's going to be a redstone link. Got a bit of granite here, so we can do that, and we can do saw. And for these two, because these are both stone brick, I can actually save some resources and do that. And I actually don't want you right over there, so do that. This is going to be stone brick saw. So we want to also copy that. Come over here, grab our link, set that to receive. That goes there. One more redstone requester, granite, set that a little longer. And then if we put packagers in all these, we should start to see them roll in. There is our wall, but if we go back over here where I've got our bridge parts all labeled. Yeah, we can see we've got these coming in. We need to get stone brick. Okay, so I've hidden away a little smeltery over here up in the canopy, this spot. So now we're gonna have cobble being turned into stone brick there. Now I could have used the smelter over there, but the problem is what I'm using over there is an attribute filter. It's a deny if it can be smelted. Stone can be smelted. Cobble can be smelted twice to get smooth stone. So you have to tell it to pick up the stone, and you have to do that separately than an attribute. You have to use a list filter. So I've set something up back here, and because this has 3 fans, it'll go quite quickly, and it should keep us pretty well stocked on stone. So all I have to do to turn it on is request cobblestone. So if we scroll this up to where we want it, we've got it where we want it, and request. Ding. Okay, we're gonna turn that off because I'm not seeing packages being delivered. Oh no. Oh no. So what went wrong there? Thought it was all gonna work first try. Stone smelt. Stone smelt. Nope. Oh. Yeah, I've done that a couple times now. Can I get the head? Thank you. So you don't seem to want to pick up anything. Are you set to only send? That's why. That was the issue. Alright, so that's all gone through. We should be getting stone in here. There we go. There's our stone popping up. Alright, so we should have stone brick in the world, which means all I need to do is set up a link for this. We're gonna do saw and stone, saw and stone. Copy that, set it to receive, paste that. There we go. That is our stone brick and our stone brick stairs in. So if we look at our bridge pieces, yup. We also actually need to make these stone bricks as well. Honestly tempted to just make it right here. So I just got a sneaky little stone brick maker back here, and we're connected up to storage. So now if you look, you can't even really tell what's going on up there, which is nice. If we come back over to this guy, yup, we should be increasing. So that's all of that. These are good. Actually, go to this one. These are good. We need chain conveyors, metal girders, chains. Well, this is just a lot. I didn't expect this to be this much. I thought, oh, I'll build a bridge. It'll be easy. It's never easy. I've just built a tree farm and then linked it up to my network and then sawed it all up and then sawed up the stone and sawed up the stone brick. This is a lot. I think it's time for mechanical crafters to craft up those. So I've set up a basic mechanical crafter setup with the factory gauges, basically saying I have these items, and if you click this, it will actually create a crafting recipe version, which will get sent to the crafter. Now, these are all the crafter, and they are just taking in the cardboard packages, because they have to come out of a repackager, must be powered, onto a depot, the arm's picking it up and just putting it in each of these, and you have to connect all of the backs of the mechanical crafters to make it work. And while that's not the fastest, it is effective. Now, my concern is that this is incredibly slow. We are sending at least 2, maybe 3 different packages to get one chain. This is incredibly slow. My question is, would it be quicker to create a new network, have all the input items stored here, and then try and crafted that way, so it's always right here. It's much closer. Let me see. That might be better. I'm gonna give that a try and I'll be back. So I'm seeing if it works better if it's all here. So these are all getting stocked up right now. I could do the request system so it sends packages of 9 and not smaller packages that just clog up the belts. But these are all on a separate network. See, that is all the main network. These are all connected up individually to that and these. So the requests are getting fulfilled in the main network, but the stock items are getting taken from there. And I think it's just a limitation on how slow the requests are coming in. I think that's the limitation. But it is working. Let's see how that's affecting the main network. Are we starting to run low on anything? See, gravel is a little under, not by much. And our iron is starting to get low, so I'm assuming it's going to keep calling for more iron. Now we need to set up chain conveyors, although to be fair, I only need one of these every so often, so to set this up today, I might just make a bunch and use those for now. I have crafted up a couple of those, and I've set this to craft with what we have, but I have to manually make the cogs. So, let's go see what we can do about putting these in and getting it all set up. We need each of these labeled cart 3, cart 2, and cart 1. And then each of those needs to receive everything to build it. I think we're going to use redstone requesters again. I know, I love them. They're perfect. Let me get some and get that set up, and I'll show you what I come up with. So I've gone ahead and set up a new network here, just this vault, so I always know that what I need is right here. I'm not waiting for a bunch of packages to come around. And then I've connected this link with these requesters, and it takes about 2 requesters each, and I've set them to printer 1, 2, and 3 here. So that way I can request out of this, it'll create the packages, and we can deposit them directly in. So to keep this vault stocked, I've gone ahead and made a connection where these are connected to one network and these are connected to my main network. So then I can add connection here and say, if I send 64, expect 64, give it an address and tell it to keep it there. So let's set up a place for that to go. Alright, we're going to label this bridge printer, and it's picking up from up here, and it will send directly down. And we're out of packagers. Of course we are. Okay, packagers made. That should unpackage into there. So if we were to send that to bridge printer and to say key 25 stacks, we should see them start to come in. Yep. So then we add that connection till it's 64. We want to keep 25 stacks in here. We only want to keep 5 stacks in there because we're not going to use that many. Bridge printer, 2 stacks in here. So yeah, those have filled already. Alright, and that is all of them linked up. We're getting all the packages, and this should be filling up. Perfect. It looks like everything except that has gone all the way through, and that'll be done any second now. And there we go. Now that we have everything in here, it's time to get stuff out of this and into these. So it's all very ugly, but what I have here is all the materials are here. It'll create the packages. Anything with printer 1 will go here and go down and into printer 1. Anything for printer 2 into printer 2. And anything for 3 will go up and be in 3. So let's go ahead and give this a test run. To do that, I am going to... We don't have any redstone, do I? It's always the redstone. Luckily, this guy had some. So this should call for printer 1 to get something. It did not. I should have spread these one further out so that I could just run a line on top of them. But now that they're set, I don't want to move them because they're very annoying to move. Because you have to refill in everything. Alright, this is just for printer 1. Probably should get some power down here. Can move all these over, and that will connect up to that, and that was the correct direction. Good. There we go. Those should go through. We should make this a brass so it all comes out in stacks. That should be printer 1 with everything. Go ahead and do printer 2. That looks like it went in the right spot. And printer 3. And there it goes. Awesome. So each of those should be loaded up. I should be able to place in each of those. So this is printer 2 if I wanted to print that. Yup. And there it is. And printer 2 should be completely empty. It is. Ouch. This should be all built, which it is. Perfect. Now we just have to drop down the piston. Piston's gonna go here. That shouldn't be in the way of anything, I don't think. Nope, I didn't hear anything break, so that's good. And then we just need to supply this power. It can be as easy as this for now, and a vertical gearbox. There it is, vertical gearbox. Links on all of these, and it's gonna be a piston on the bottom and a button on the top. Grab our clipboard, copy, paste, paste, jump and paste, jump even higher and paste. Alright, and those should all be set to receive. So for now, I am going to give myself that. That's actually there. So if I press this, we should see these push and come back. There goes 1, there goes 2, and we were off. Where were we off at? Yeah, everything needs to move over. Question is which direction? One to the left, which means this is gonna need to move as well. The correct spot, yes it is. Shouldn't break too much. Reconnect our chains, and let's press it again. This should fix it. It did not seem to fix it. Why did we not place everything in? Because there should be a spot here. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a link controller. That way we don't have to keep going back to that one spot. So if we we're definitely missing something here. I see what it is. There was something in the way here, maybe? This whole side didn't get placed, so I think I'm gonna break it down and try again. Because it looks like some stuff just yet didn't get placed. So after some testing, what I figured out was that this top corner here on the deployer setup on the printer did not have the schematic in properly, so it didn't know to place it there. So I've fixed that, and I've gone through and fixed the mistake in here, so it should continue to print normally, and this bridge is looking good. So let's go ahead and start building this out. I think that is all we have left in this episode. If you liked the video, remember to give it a like, subscribe. If you see something that I could have done better, feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see next, or if you like this style of video where I kind of took you along with me through the whole process as opposed to just telling you what I did, let me know what you like, what you dislike, and we will keep improving. I know this was a super long episode today, and I don't know if you're complaining about that or not. I think you rather enjoyed it. So thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch you in the next one.